In 2011, the best teams in the world weren't trying to beat Barcelona. They were trying to survive them. Real Madrid, Manchester United, Arsenal, champions, legends, all reduced to chasing shadows. This wasn't just a great team. This was football pushed to its absolute limit. So today, we're not asking if 2010 to 2011 Barcelona were the best team of their era. We're asking whether they were the greatest team football has ever seen, and why no one has been able to recreate them since. In football history, greatness is usually measured by trophies, goals, and individual awards. So when people debate the greatest team ever, they often point to dominance, longevity, or star power. But what if the greatest team wasn't defined by how much they won, but by how impossible they were to play against? Because in the 2010-11 season, Barcelona didn't just beat teams, they removed their ability to compete. Champions League finalists, league winners, elite defensive sides, all reduced to chasing the ball for 90 minutes. This team controlled space, time, and pressure in a way football had never seen before. And that's why this video isn't about nostalgia, it's about evidence. Today, we're breaking down the tactics, the players, the defining matches, and the numbers that prove 2010-11 Barcelona weren't just the best team of their era. They were the greatest team in football history. The first reason why 2010-11 Barcelona were so dominant was due to them having complete control over games and decided how almost every single match was played. Barcelona actually controlled around 70% of possession every single game, even against the best teams in the world at the time. Against Manchester United in the Champions League final, they decimated them with 63% possession. Against Real Madrid, they recorded 69% possession, the most ever recorded possession in a Champions League knockout stage. And then again in a La Liga match, they dominated with a total of 72% possession in their famous 5-0 Clásico win. Barcelona were untouchable, and at times, teams couldn't get the ball of them for extremely long periods of time. And no, this possession wasn't like the modern-day Manchester City or Liverpool possession, where they swing the ball around the back for long periods. No, this possession was ran through defense, to midfield, to attack, and made teams run in circles like headless chickens. Heat maps prove that every single Barcelona player was like something from out of space, touching every area of the pitch and rotating completely, confusing professionals, teams, and fans. It didn't look human. They were just too good. Teams didn't know what to do. They would resolve to trying to injure players like Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, David Villa, yet they couldn't get within 2 yards of them. They moved the ball like they were professionals against infants. They made the best players to ever live look like little kids who have never played the game in their life. The tiki-taka football they played was something out of the streets of Brazil. Messi and Dani Alves left teams all spinning round, asking what day it was. Yet with that amount of possession, you not only need to keep the ball for the majority of the game, but win it back with extreme pressure. They took the ball back from teams like taking candy of a child. It was simply too easy for them. Watching Barcelona's control was like watching your favorite movie ever for the first time. It left you shocked every time, and they never disappointed. But that wasn't even the best thing about this season. One of the best tactical displays was Lionel Messi moving into a false nine that broke defenders' souls. In this position, his name became the unstoppable Messi, and players the night before playing against him said they couldn't sleep and that they felt like they were walking into a horror movie. Messi didn't just play as an attacker, but played almost like an extra midfielder, dropping down and overloading 4 against 3 in the middle of the park. Players couldn't touch him. He was simply too good for everyone. At 23 years old, the Ballon d'Or winner Messi recorded 53 goals and 23 assists in just 55 games. Do you know how insane that is? But Messi didn't just score goals against nobodies. He was the top goal scorer in the Champions League and scored 2 goals in the El Clásico. Sir Alex Ferguson said it himself. Barcelona was the best team I have ever faced, and Messi was the glue to it all. Messi dragged defenders where and when he wanted to. He played like he was invisible, unpredictable, and like a madman that couldn't be stopped. At times, he would be in striker, then you blink, and before you know it, he was picking the ball from deep and dribbling past players like they wasn't there. Messi was so good that year, he made everyone around him better, including helping Barcelona's midfield 3 turn to their prime and play like robots. Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, arguably the greatest midfield trio to ever live, and they were all in their prime in 2010. Xavi was the orchestrator, Iniesta was the magician, and Busquets was the glue to it all. This midfield didn't just chase games, they suffocated them. This season, Barcelona routinely completed an average of 800 passes per game. They became press-resistant even against the most aggressive teams. They were untouchable, and the world will never see a midfield this perfect again. Xavi controlled everything. He was the brain of the team. He dictated the tempo, constantly offered passing angles, and rarely lost the ball. ball. He was so unstoppable because he didn't just pass the ball, he decided how the game was played. Averaging 100+ passes in the biggest games, Iniesta was the problem solver and the chaos. Iniesta wasn't the fastest player, but he eliminated players with unpredictable movement instead of speed. Even in the tightest spaces, he couldn't be touched. His ability to beat the first, second, and third man with ease allowed players like Messi and Xavi to shine in attack. Busquets is a player who isn't spoke about enough. He was the invisible key behind everything, the perfect six. He was rarely tackled, was always in the right place at the right time. And when you think of press resistant, you think of Sergio Busquets. He was the system's foundation that allowed Barca to press high, hold possession, and always have an outlet. These players were so good and so talented, but they was used in the most perfect way. This is because of Pep Guardiola's tactical brilliance that was ahead of its time. Pep changed the system in so many ways that made Barcelona unplayable. Pep played with a high line and pushed the fullbacks wide. This allowed the fullbacks to create width, whilst dropping Busquets a little deeper and putting Messi in the false nine that created a diamond in midfield. And wingers that were both strikers and wide players at the same time. Pep allowed his team and main players like David Villa, Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta to all free roam and rotate when they wanted. They played so smoothly, opposition teams didn't know who to mark. This allowed players like Messi to get the ball free and take players on and completely dismantle them. Barcelona that year were so good to watch and their dominance was a shock. They dismantled almost everyone. In 62 matches, they registered 45 wins, 11 draws, and only 6 losses. They scored 152 goals and conceded only 39. But when they played the best teams in the world, they didn't just beat them, they destroyed them, destroying Arsenal and Villarreal multiple times, and destroying Real Madrid 5-0 and Manchester United in the final of the Champions League 3-1. This year, Barca won La Liga with ease, recording 96 points, the Champions League and the Spanish Super Cup. This dominance over the best teams defines greatness and proves they were the greatest team to ever play the beautiful game. The truth is, teams admitted to being terrified of facing Pep's Barcelona that year, and Messi left defenders having nightmares of him. Mourinho couldn't stop them. Sir Alex Ferguson couldn't get near them. Ronaldo looked like he'd never touched a ball against him. The truth is, they were simply too good for everyone. When people argue about the greatest team in football history, the conversation usually starts with trophies, records, or star players. But 2010-11 Barcelona went beyond all of that. They didn't just win. They controlled football itself. They dominated possession, dictated tempo, and forced the best teams in the world to play on their terms. Real Madrid, Arsenal, Manchester United. These weren't small opponents, and yet, against all of them, Barcelona looked inevitable. They won 45 of 62 matches, lost just 6 times, scored over 150 goals, and lifted La Liga and the Champions League, while playing a style no one could stop. At the heart of it all was a perfect system. Xavi controlled time, Iniesta broke space, Busquets protected structure, and Messi didn't just score goals, he redefined what a forward could be. But what truly separates this team from every other great side is this: their dominance didn't rely on chaos or moments. It was repeatable, predictable, relentless. Opponents knew what was coming and still couldn't stop it. Football has seen incredible teams before and since. Some were more physical, some were faster, some even won more trophies. But no team has ever combined control, beauty, intelligence, and success the way 2010-11 Barcelona did. That's why this season isn't just remembered as a great year. It's remembered as the moment football reached its highest level. And that's why, even today, 2010-11, Barcelona remain the greatest team in football history.